This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English. Episode number 101. The party of last week is over. Now we have to wait until episode 200, unfortunately, to have another party. Maybe we'll have a small party at episode 150. Who knows? Anyway, in today's show, I speak to Clarification Charlie about the birds and the bees. I know that probably sounds a bit strange, but that's another way to say sex, basically, in English. Well, sex education, when you talk to someone about how sex works, because sex education is an actual subject in schools in Britain, and Clarification Charlie, as we know, is a proper teacher and teaches that subject in schools in Britain. Well, not schools, plural, one school, I believe. And that's what she's here to do today, to teach us about sex education. Remember, all of the vocabulary is on the website, rockandrollenglish.com. It's not working again at the weekend. Who the fuck knows why? Not me. Hopefully one day we will find the solution to the problem. In the meantime, though, let's listen to this baby. Happy listening. Clarification Charlie, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, Martin. How are you?
Always fantastic, Charlie. Always fantastic. Although actually saying that, I don't know if I'm fantastic today because the party from last week is over. The 100 episodes, it's over. Now it's just back to boring episodes of speaking to people like you. Oh, God.
Oh, God. See, I thought you were going to say you were still upset about the football, but no.
Well, I'm trying not to think about that, so please don't remind me. Okay, let's just move on. Let's move on. I need to get over it. Oh, some rock and roll vocabulary. What does it mean, get over it?
It means to stop worrying or stop thinking about something.
Clarification, Charlie. I think you're a bit rusty. So a bit rusty, a bit out of practice. That's a rubbish clarification of the word. I would say more to sort of recover from something, to recover emotionally in this situation.
Yeah, you're probably right there. Sorry.
Probably right.
It's a bit rusty.
Definitely right. Anyway, how do we normally start the show?
With a review.
Oh, yeah, baby. Do you think we have a review?
Well, if Boom Boom Cannon's done his job right, hopefully we do.
He still hasn't done the fake review.
Oh, okay. Yes, review.
Correct, we do actually. Although I forgot to actually mention on the 100th episode how I asked people for like small recordings, and everyone actually did it, because normally I ask people for reviews and no one does it. And I was thinking, oh God, this 100th episode is just going to be my mum, Clarification Charlie and Boom Boom, and that's going to be it.
What an episode that would be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but luckily people did it. Anyway, yes, we do have a review. It's from a couple of months ago, actually. Someone sent this to me because, as I always say, I often can't see reviews. It's an iTunes review, which are always my favourite. If I had to choose my favourite type of review, it would definitely be iTunes. There's a second conditional there. Oh, fuck. I was supposed to ask you what conditional, and I already told you.
Oh, it's a second conditional.
Second conditional. Well done. Well done. How did you know that?
Well, you know, just my expert work and knowledge in language.
Sure. Anyway, so the title of the review is Fun and Inspiring Podcast. Oh, wow. I think I'm bringing the fun. You can maybe bring the inspiration. I don't know.
Thanks.
And it's from Lillian Zag Misfit 3688548. That's quite a name there. That's a name.
That's a catchy number.
Catchy number. Oh, a nice term there. Catchy number. A catchy name is a name that you remember. So, yeah, this is from China as well, actually. And it starts with, I guess there's a fat chance that this review will be read out on the show. So when she says a fat chance, she means probably won't happen. It is happening. Dreams do come true, don't they? As Gabrielle said. Yeah.
I'm living my dream right now.
Oh, yeah. But then it goes on and says, but it doesn't matter, though, because deep down, you know how much we love you. Always good to hear. It goes without saying, I was so touched by your apology for donations. I don't know if you know about that, Charlie. That was a big mess. I don't want to talk about that, though. I don't want to rake up old graves. Boom shakalaka. Some more rock and roll vocabulary. What does it mean to rake up old graves?
To to go back to start talking about something that we've already kind of moved past.
We've been there, I've apologised, let's keep going. And then she says, we totally understand, so there's nothing to forgive. To err is human, to forgive is divine. I didn't even know the word to err. Had you ever heard that?
I've heard it in kind of, very formal writing and in like literature passages, but I can't say I ever use that word in daily language.
You're not intelligent enough to use it. I'm not even intelligent enough to know about it until now, so don't worry. She says only half true there. I'm patiently waiting for the next episode. By the way, I listen to your episodes over and over again every single time you release a new one.
Wow, that's amazing.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that, Lillian Zag Misfit 3688548. That was much appreciated. Anyway, so clarification, Charlie. Do you know what we're speaking about today?
I don't, and I get very nervous when I don't have a clue what we're talking about.
Nice term there, which says I don't have a clue. It means I don't know. You should feel quite comfortable about this one because it's a subject you know about. We're talking about sex education because, as we've spoken about before, clarification, Charlie is a proper teacher at a school in England with like teenagers and teaches them like teachers do, I suppose. It's quite obvious in the name. Because in the UK we have a subject called sex education. What does that involve, Charlie?
Well, it involves teaching students about their body and about relationships on a whole.
Yeah, just basically how sex works. I mean, I seem to remember this lesson. I remember it being the best lesson ever. It would have been better, though, if I had such a beautiful teacher like you, Charlie. There was another conditional there. What conditional was that?
First conditional.
Third. First. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ. Maybe people sometimes get second and third mixed up, but first and third, mamma mia. Anyway, so I've got some comments here about why we need to have sex education because some sort of teenagers have been writing on the internet, and I found an article that has all of these comments. So it says, we need to have sex education because people don't know these things. And I thought maybe you can help us as well and give us some extra information. So the first comment is from someone called Lydia, and it says, help, I can't find my hole. She says, I haven't lost my virginity yet, but I don't know where my hole is. I thought, I don't know. Do you sometimes lose your hole, Charlie?
No, I can't say that I have lost my hole.
It's just like losing your keys, isn't it? Like, where are the keys? Where's my phone? Oh, where's my vagina? It's all the same, isn't it? You just lose your vagina sometimes.
I can't believe people write this shit.
What about any of your students, though? Did they ask you where their vagina or penis was?
No, not really. Although, to get on a serious note, they did a load of studies into it, and they said if you give people a picture of a vagina, they would not be able to label all the different parts
of the vagina.
Well, yeah, and the vagina and the female genital area. If you gave people a picture, genuinely.
Yes, but you should be able to find the hole.
Oh, you should be able to find the hole. Oh, I mean,
that's the main thing we're interested in.
Oh, yeah,
is the hole.
The hole.
Well, so yeah, and let's move on. I had a dream once, though. I did have a dream. I know this sounds something like Martin Luther King at the moment.
Does it?
When he made that famous speech.
I have a dream.
I have a dream. But my dream involved me losing my penis. I was probably about 14 when I had this dream. And when I woke up, I cannot tell you how relieved I was to touch my penis and think, it's still there. Thank God. Even today, I just think about that. So the word I used there, relieved, what does that mean?
Not to be stressed or anxious anymore.
Exactly, because I was very stressed for those few seconds in which I woke up and I thought, fuck, do I still have a penis? But I do. Everything's fine. and I know where the hole of the vagina is. So if that Lydia wants me to tell her where it is, just send me a message and I'll tell you. Okay. So a next one is, can you get your baby pregnant if you have sex while you're pregnant? So, and then she continues to say, like, if you're pregnant, you have a baby girl, and then you have sex, can the baby girl get pregnant as well? And, you know, did anyone ask you this, Charlie? Does this ever happen?
Oh, again, these aren't quite the questions that I've been asked when teaching the subject in school.
No.
However, you know, all questions are valued. You know, there's no such question as a stupid question, as we like to say.
Exactly. Good point. Exactly. All questions are good questions. Although this is a fucking ridiculous question, I must admit. It would just be never ending, wouldn't it? I mean, if you had a baby inside and the baby got pregnant, could the baby inside the baby get pregnant? It's almost like dominoes or something like that, isn't it?
It's just, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yes, it's just a nightmare. But it doesn't stop there. And we've got more and more of these. The next one is it illegal to have sex on Skype and show your penis on a webcam? I don't know. Have the laws changed? I also thought this is the difference in sort of generations as well. When I did sex education at school, no one would have asked that. I said no one would have. No one would have asked that.
No, I don't think we even had webcams, did we, when we were...
That was the point I was trying to make.
Right.
Although you did get there in the end, okay? Everyone else understood that about a minute ago, but you got there. You got there, okay? So well done.
Yeah, thanks.
That was the point, yeah. We're old, yeah, in the past, didn't have webcams. Yeah. And I also noticed, so that was the main question of the comment, and then he sort of writes some other stuff. And he said, I want to show my penis and I want her to show me her vagina. He can't even spell vagina. He spelt vagina wrong. So what are you teaching these people? They can't even spell vagina.
Let's hope he's not trying to chat to Lydia, because she doesn't know where it is, does she?
Well, between the two of them, she doesn't know where it is. He doesn't know how to spell it. They're completely fucked.
Oh, and this is our future generation.
Yeah, exactly. And as well, this person that wrote this comment said, I'm only 13. Thinking,
oh my God.
If you're 13, what are you already thinking about? Like, just do the normal stuff first. Don't start with sex on Skype. Just do the normal stuff. Keep it simple. Okay?
Oh, God.
I actually, when I was thinking about this, and again, I was thinking of the generation gap, and I was thinking, we didn't have this problem. I remember actually at school, 2 people had sex in a tree house. So there's the difference. A tree house like back in the day, and now on Skype.
It's mental. Well, how times have changed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a modern world.
Modern world is crazy, isn't it? And so then we've got some actual comments of people, what they were told in sex education. So one of them was... one of the messages, was in sex education, they told us condoms don't work, so just never have sex. Fucking hell. Boring school that is.
What a fucking boring school, hey?
Yeah, exactly. So give us the information. What do you do in a lesson? Do you just sort of say, like, this is penis, this is vagina, this goes in here?
So we talk a little bit about the general, or I'd say, mechanics of sex.
Sure.
We do a lot about bodies and changing shape in bodies.
Sure.
One of my favourite lessons, and kids don't quite know how to take it when you do this, is talking about masturbation. And you have I remember I did a classic classroom activity, a card sort. And you had these different cards in front of you, and you had to decide whether it was fact or fiction. So, for example, one of them was masturbating makes your hand hairy.
So, obviously, masturbating, I think everyone knows that. So, it makes your hand hairy, creates a lot of hair on your hand. I have very hairy hands, so I'm hoping the answer to this question was no. Please tell me it was no.
Wow. Yeah. No, it was no. It was no.
Thank God.
One of the other ones was as well, masturbating will make you go blind.
I've heard that. I've heard that a few times, actually. Yeah. I was worried when I was young because, you don't want that, do you?
No, of course you don't. Of course you don't. Got to be very careful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So another one of the comments, actually, speaking of the penis, is just penis health. And he spelt penis with 2 N's. So I think these youngsters, they can't even spell the sort of sexual genitals. And then he said, if my penis becomes weak, and he spelt weak as in a weak, not as in weak as in not strong. I can't remember the name of these in English. I think they're called homophones of the words that are the same in pronunciation but different in meaning. And generally when you get to teenage years, though, you should know that, but obviously people don't. No. And he said, so if my penis becomes weak, how can I make it strong again? He's thinking, there's a thing called Viagra now, mate, but I don't know if you want to be taking that when you're like
13.
14. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what age people start taking that, but I think it's a bit later. I haven't even started taking that, and I'm old. There's still time for Viagra in my life. There's still time. And another, this is my favourite one, without a doubt. The title is just, my girlfriend is really passionate about erections. I love the word passionate in that because, I'm passionate about football, for example. She's passionate about erections. People like different stuff in life, don't they?
Oh, well, there we go.
I was thinking maybe she could put that on her CV, on like hobbies and interests. She could just put erections, and then they could just, she's in a job interview at the bank. Oh, I see you're passionate about erections. You'll fit in great in this office. What does it mean if I say you'll fit in?
It means to get on well socially with other people in the group or in the room.
Yeah, exactly. Because, if she's passionate about erections, I mean, I'm sure the men might be happy about that.
I think some men would be very happy about that.
Yeah, speaking of men as well, the dirty bastards, animals, they all are. Alice Goodman said when she did sex education at school, they told us not to wear red, otherwise the boys would get aroused. So aroused would mean like sexually excited. I was thinking, Alice, that's not just red. That's any colour. That is
Teenage
any colour.
Boys, any colour. Just a slight sign of flesh, and there they go.
Exactly. So when she said there's a sign of flesh, she means skin, which is why everyone loves the summer, because there's more skin on show, more flesh on show. One of them actually did make me feel a bit bad, actually, because I actually thought this is quite sad because she actually doesn't know, but at the same time, still quite funny. The title is What is Fingering? And then it's also got a kiss at the end of the What is Fingering kiss of of the X that we do in England. And then she said, oh, hi, I just want to know what fingering is because my boyfriend said he wants to finger me, but I don't know what it is. So I thought maybe you could answer that for us, clarification, Charlie. Maybe you could bring some clarity to that. So what is that?
Well... well, fingering is a form of sexual interaction, shall we say?
Look, she's talking like she's talking in front of a class now, like talking like a teacher. Sexual interaction, yeah. It's when a man puts his finger into a woman, okay? That's it.
Yeah, into the vagina.
Into the vagina.
Let's hope they know where it is.
Exactly. Just hope they know where it is. That one actually did make me feel a bit bad, but at the same time, still did make me laugh just a little bit. Do you talk about fingering in sex education?
We do. We do.
You do?
We do. We talk about all forms of sex. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I know. We cover everything. We talk about porn as well and pornography.
That's another thing. Kids today, they're just so lucky, aren't they, that they can just click a button and then just watch whatever they want. I think I've spoken about this another time on a podcast, but there was a kid at school that rented a cassette to everyone for £2 a night. Things were a lot different back in the day, let me tell you.
Good old Blockbuster.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think he actually stole it, but anyway, that's fine. The next one we have here is help. I farted during a kiss. So she writes a long story. So remember, fart is when like you go like that, and then it makes a noise. So a girl basically said she was in love with a guy, and then they finally kissed, and then he touched her bum, and then she sort of didn't know what to do, and then just a fart came out, and then he obviously thought, I don't know if I want to kiss this girl anymore. But she raises a good point there, because back in the day when you're at school and stuff and you kiss a girl, you always think, how far can my hands go down here? Can they touch bum? Can they touch anything else?
Yeah, it's those first kind of few kisses, and you're just like, do we, don't we? Oh, exciting.
A bit of bum.
Yeah.
A bit of bum. Oh. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. First base. There we go. Yeah, touch my bum.
Exactly. That's what the Americans say, actually, don't they, with bases? I think it's in reference to baseball. First base, I've never understood this. I always thought first base may be a kiss. Second base, I don't know.
Is second base like a touch, like a kind of grape of the boob or grape of the bum?
Yeah. So when she said their boob, that's a nice way to say breasts, I suppose. Maybe touch of the boobs. Third base, I would imagine a finger.
Yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
And then the home run, take it home. Take it home, yeah. So one more is the title again. My testicles are orange. What should I do? I was thinking, why are they orange? I mean, it could be sunburn. Boom Boom Cannon was talking last week about going to a nudist beach, and I actually thought, there's no name on this comment. This could be Boom Boom. His testicles are orange because he's been to the nudist beach.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it is Boom Boom. Maybe he forgot to cream up his testicles and went and laid on the rocks or whatever it was, this beach. They got a bit orange. Who knows?
As we can talk about Boom Boom in a bad way, though, because he never listens to this, does he?
Very true. Very true.
Fuck him.
Yeah, that's right.
The bastard. So the last one here, again, just going to read the title. It's from Jeffy. So thanks, Jeffy. And it says, when should I teach my dog about sex? So when should he tell his dog about what happens? Because he said, my dog is 2 years old. That's 14 years. In human years, so I guess that's a good time to talk to my dog about sex. I was thinking, you're a sex education teacher, you've got a dog, have you spoken to your dog about how it works?
Oh no, I haven't.
That's
my
dog
apparently seems to know all by himself how it works.
He knows where the hole is.
Oh, he regularly finds the hole every time he goes to the farm and he sees my parent-in-law's other dogs, female dogs, and he just goes for it every time.
Absolutely brilliant.
Gets his lipstick out, as we say.
Oh, really? I've never even heard this. What does it mean?
Oh, basically, he gets a massive erection. Like massive.
Right.
And then, he goes to town on the dogs, on the bitches.
Oh, so a nice term there. Like he goes to town. He just goes absolutely crazy. Yeah, and then you can imagine what happens there. I think we should probably change the subject about dogs and sex. But obviously you've got a daughter as well. So when are you going to have this chat with her? We call it the birds and the bees. So when you get to like 14, maybe your parents will talk to you about the birds and the bees. They will talk to you about sex and stuff like this. And you know about sex education as well. So when are you going to say to your daughter, right, okay, here's where your hole is. Here's all of this. This is how it works,
I know. I think I like to hope that I'm quite a liberal person. I like to hope, having taught it, that I will be able to have a conversation with her about it when she's a teenager. I can't imagine my husband will be best pleased at this at all. I think in his eyes this will never, ever, ever happen.
Of course. Lovely term there when she said, I don't think my husband will be best pleased. Obviously, there's a few years to wait for that. I'd imagine at least sort of 14, 15. But, please record it for the podcast. That'll be fantastic. Okay, so everyone must continue listening to Rock and Roll English for at least another 14 years to hear this. Okay, well, it's been fantastic talking about dogs' erections and vaginas and penises with you. Clarification, Charlie.
I think your friend's going to love writing the transcript for this episode, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot for your time.
That's all right. You're very, very welcome.
And we'll see you again soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that was me in clarification, Charlie, talking about the birds and the bees. So let's look at some of that rock and roll vocabulary. She was asking me about the football, and I said I need to get over the football. I need to recover from it emotionally. It's often used after maybe you break up with a girlfriend or boyfriend. You need to get over it. You need to recover emotionally. Can be physically as well. Get over an injury. I also said she was a bit rusty with her clarification. So if you are rusty, you are out of practice. It's like a bike. If you leave it outside for too long, what happens? It gets rusty. That's the literal meaning. I was using it more in a metaphorical sense because that's what I do. We were talking about the name of the review of like 5, 6, 7, 8 or whatever it was. And Charlie said that's a catchy number. So when she says number, she actually means name. So something catchy is something that you remember. Normally something that rhymes, like he's a poet, he doesn't know it. There we go. That's a catchy line. On the review, actually, it said, I guess there's a fat chance this review will be read out. So when you say that, well, there's a fat chance, you actually mean there's little chance, almost no chance, but it did get read out. And then continuing with the review again, lots of rock and roll vocabulary with the review. That's what we like. It spoke about my apology for when I asked for donations and I said, don't rake up old graves. So like, let's not talk about that. We've spoken about that. We've moved on. Let's not go back in the past and talk about that. She also used another term when it said to err is human. I didn't even know that word. So that word is so rock and roll that even I didn't know. It means actually to make a mistake, but as we said, quite formal. So sometimes there are formal words on rock and roll English. Charlie also said that she gets nervous when she doesn't have a clue what we're talking about. So if you don't have a clue, you don't know. For example, what's the next episode going to be about, Martin? Well, I haven't got a clue. I don't know. When I was talking about the dream I had when my penis fell off, I said I was very relieved when I woke up. So when you are relieved, you are no longer worried or stressed. Normally you are relieved after an exam or something like that. When we were talking about some of the comments about sex education, one person said, don't wear red, otherwise the girls get aroused. Sorry, the boys get aroused. So if you get aroused, you get sexually excited. We also had the word flesh. So flesh is just another word for skin. To show flesh, to show skin. It's the same. Charlie also used the word boob. So boob is a nice word, kind of, to say tits. Basically, breasts, women's things that men don't have on their chest. One boob, two boobs. When she was talking about her dog, she said he goes to town on the other dog. So if you go to town on something, you go crazy. You can even use this if someone starts beating someone up, someone starts punching someone, destroys them. You can say he went to town on them. And we obviously also had the birds and the bees. Remember, that's a sort of nice way to say the sex talk, basically. Maybe your parents will give you that one day, or they already have. Who knows? And she used a lovely term when she said, I can't imagine my husband will be best pleased when we have to do the chat about the birds and the bees. Quite obvious the meaning, but lovely construction there. Anyway, that's all of the rock and roll vocabulary for this week. Remember, all of the vocabulary is on the website. Go there, have fun, do the quiz, which I forgot to do last week. Sorry about that. It will be there this week. So go there, have fun. I'll see you next week. But in the meantime, people, just keep on rocking.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.